This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Ceasefire now!
We're going to clear the room.
Ceasefire now!
Let's get right to a developing story in St. Louis County. Protesters disrupted the weekly county council meeting. The group chanted loudly for the people of Palestine, and council members eventually ended the meeting. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. This all played out a few hours ago inside the council chambers in Clayton. That's where 5 on your side's Holden Kurwicki is live with the latest. And Holden, kind of take us through what happened.
Well, Mike and Ann, the meeting had just started and the first speaker stepped to the podium. She was a supporter of the people of Palestine who delivered a 2-minute speech that ended with this chant.
Sam Page funds genocide in this council co-sign.
That speaker, Paige Mathis, was responding to a resolution to observe International Holocaust Day. She said the people of Palestine also needed to be remembered for the violence they've faced in the past few months, and said the council's decision to provide tax breaks to Boeing funded violence against the Palestinian people. After her speech, a group of people began chanting to free Palestine. The council chair tried to get the order of the room, but after a couple of minutes and after consulting with a police officer, the council chair ordered the room to be cleared.
We want to make sure everybody can speak and we don't clear out this room. I need you all to recognize the decorum of this chamber. I'm asking you to wrap up your statement, ma'am. Are you
Ceasefire now!
Thank you.
Ceasefire now!
After about a 35-minute delay, the council returned to session and then ultimately decided it was best to reschedule the meeting until Friday at 4 o'clock. That meeting will be held virtually, and all people who are asking to submit their questions are asked to do that online as well. Meanwhile, the St. Louis County Police say that they took one person into custody for trespassing during that meeting. Reporting live in Clayton, Holden Kurwicki, 5 on your side.
One topic that was going to be discussed at that meeting was a memo from Council President Shalonda Webb that has some questioning if the county wants to take control of local police departments. Webb asked the county councilor's office to draft legislation giving the council legislative power over any and all public safety functions, including those within incorporated communities. Webb says the county does not want to take over local police departments, but she says it's fair for citizens to expect a standard level of policing.
Most of the citizens of the municipalities are happy with their police force, as are the ones in unincorporated St. Louis County. So I just think that this particular legislation, let's see what it's going to look like. My guess is it'll die on the vine.
Well, I know we lost our audio on the set. I don't know if you heard that, but if any legislation on this issue is approved by the county council, it would still need to be approved by St. Louis County voters.
After Monday's Arctic blast, it almost feels like an early spring. We had highs in the 40s today, and it felt so warm out there.
But that warmer weather has led to some of this thick fog that's putting us in a weather alert tonight. We've got Jim Castillo here for our Weather First forecast. Jim?
Yeah, you know, with that really cool ground, and it's wet with all that rain we've had on top of that ice and the winter weather last week. So we're starting to see that milder air move in, 47 for that high today. And look around the area, I'd say Highland, Illinois, visibility's reducing quite a bit, but Cuba, Missouri at the airport there, it's really low. So now every county is in this dense fog advisory, including the entire metro until midnight tonight. Some of the visibility is as low as a quarter of a mile, maybe a little bit less in the spots. You want to slow down, use your low beams and the headlights there, and look what's on the way, more rain. So some areas the past couple of days had over an inch of rainfall. We're going to get a soaking rain tonight. It's already in our southern counties, Centerville and Viburnum area. So that's Reynolds County, Iron County, and now moving into Farmington and Park Hills. It'll push into the metro within the next hour here, and it's going to stay with us throughout the night. We'll talk about this chance of rain plus other chances for rain into the weekend. More on that in just a few minutes.
Tonight, the rising temperatures following the recent cold snap are causing issues for water mains across the city of St. Louis. Crews have responded to dozens of locations where rushing water has filled the streets and the intersections.
5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is in studio with more details on how the city is trying to fix the problems. Diamond?
Well, Mike and the city of St. Louis says they are working to replace a total of 60 water main breaks across the city. They're having crews work 24/7 to make the repairs, but it's leaving some residents without water in the process.
We had no warning. They just cut it off.
Friday, Jeffrey Hamilton's water was shut off because of this water main break at Jameson and Chippewa. His only option to make things work was buying gallons of water.
In order to flush the toilet, we had to keep filling up the toilet thing. So it was a little bit expensive for a while, but what are you going to do?
Hamilton has lived in the St. Louis Hills neighborhood for 2 decades. He says this break is one of 2 his neighbors have faced in the last year.
Let's not take us back to the 1800s with no running water or bad streets, bad infrastructure.
The city's logged more than 60 total water main breaks as of Tuesday afternoon. They're actively working to fix 11 of them and have restored water at 18 locations. The city's Department of Public Utilities says it's an ongoing problem when cold weather grips the state, and they can't always notify residents about the shutoffs.
Because we don't have time, we don't have the people to do it.
We repair and replace as funds become available, and we're always searching for funds to do this.
Hamilton says he was filled with joy when he heard the sound of running water come back on Monday.
And all of a sudden it just started making noise and then just started coming out. But that was a delightful sound.
Now, the city's Department of Public Utilities has crews working 12-hour shifts and 7 days a week to fix the water main breaks, and they encourage any residents to report problems with running water, open hydrants, or water quality to call 314-622-4800, or people can submit a report online with the Citizen Service Bureau.
Diamond, thanks. Meantime, water mains aren't the only problem on local streets. Potholes are also becoming a huge issue, including one that was right in the middle of a roundabout in North St. Louis. The pothole surfaced recently near Goodfellow and Natural Bridge. That's where 5 on Your Side's Annie Krall talked to drivers about a frustrating problem.
This roundabout near Goodfellow Boulevard and Natural Bridge may not seem worrisome at first, but there are a number of complaints on social media about a massive pothole here, now covered up by an iron slab that's extremely large, and drivers still have to pass over. Hundreds of Facebook comments complaining about why it wasn't fixed. One taxpayer saying she's been going around the pothole for a week trying to get to work. The city of St. Louis saying Tuesday this pothole wasn't caused by freezing and then expanding water. However, there is no distinct timeline about when it may be filled. This Goodfellow Boulevard and Natural Bridge pothole, along with others, causing shops like Dr. Tire down the road to have to service and help customers maintain their tires even more.
Sure, because I sell used tire, not brand new, you know? Yeah, because I have used tires. Sometimes you find a leak or holes or nail. You need to fix it, yeah.
A crucial reminder to drivers that as roads remain slick on Tuesday, to go through roundabouts, especially this one, slowly, and to merge with extra caution. Reporting in North City, Annie Krall, 5 on Your Side.
A blistering audit accuses Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft of breaking the law and hiding elections-related expenses.
The audit downgraded Ashcroft's office to the second lowest rating there is, citing several areas that require immediate attention. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, joins us now with more on how the Secretary of State is explaining himself. Mark?
Mike and Ann, election experts warned this could happen when Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft first pulled Missouri out of the Electronic Registration Information Center, or ERIC for short. When a voter dies or moves out of state, that's the database dozens of states across the country use to update their voter rolls to remove any ineligible voter registration records. Ashcroft enrolled Missouri in that program to begin with and at one time acknowledged its benefits. Then later pulled the state out in part because the system would nudge legal eligible voters to register to vote. He felt the state should not be prodding people to sign up to vote and figured they'd do that on their own if they wanted to. This new stinging state audit claims Ashcroft pulled Missouri out of the election integrity program too quickly and didn't have a plan in place to replace it, leaving the state with less reliable voter rolls, and it claims he violated legal requirements to hand financial records over for review. In a news conference Tuesday morning, Ashcroft said he'll fight back in court.
Let's go to a judge. We won't make the decision. The state auditor won't make the decision. We'll go before a judge, and the judge will make that decision. The auditor refused to do that.
This audit coming out as Ashcroft is trying to mount the Republican primary bid for governor. Ashcroft's office included his pushback in that audit itself, saying he disagreed with its findings.
Keeping some of the most vulnerable safe from dangerous situations. The new facility at Women's Safe House.
Coming up, lawmakers looking out for first-year teachers. A look at the push to tie their pay to superintendent salaries.